Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. This is Kathy Elkins with Premier Marketing. I have great information for you. First of all, I have Jeff McClendon with us on the call. He's from Assurity Life, and we're going to be going over small business is big business, their Life Protect 3-in-1 coverage that you can use for small business owners or just your regular clients that you're seeing on a day-to-day basis. Jeff, thank you for joining us.
You bet. Well, good day to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm blessed, always blessed to present for our good friends at Premier Surety. We definitely appreciate you and your business.
I'm glad you're doing this. Just to let everybody know, what we're kind of doing is the month of January. I talked to Jeff about this and selected him to come in and help us do some small webinars, 10, 15-minute webinars that will help us and help all agents out there that are appointed with Assurity or want to get appointed with Assurity, just kind of going over some quick headline information about their products. Why Assurity? What can I do for us? So every Tuesday, you should see an email coming out about Assurity and what products they offer, sales ideas, information, and why we're focusing on them for the month of January. So thank you for doing this, Jeff.
You bet. I will kick this off, Kathy, and say that today's presentation, today's concept is going to be focused around small business owners. And I'm going to provide you some data today that'll kind of uncover the true size of the market. I think it's much larger than what we originally think, but a reasonable and a very powerful concept, really focused for small business owners. Starting off, as Kathy mentioned, this is Assurity, and we are a mutual company based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. I will mention to you that we are a certified B Corporation, which means that we are working for the common good. What I'd like to share with folks is Assurity puts the people in this planet, in the world, we put it at the same level that we do profit. So in everything that we do at this company, we keep in mind the impact that it's going to have on the planet. We do have tools built for success. We are a very tech-forward company, and we not only utilize that technology internally here, Kathy, but we also provide tools for advisors out there in the field to make their job just a little bit easier. Last but not least, we are based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Our contact center, our employees based out of Lincoln, Nebraska. We don't outsource anything. So when you pick up the phone and reach out to one of our friendly associates in Lincoln, they're going to answer, they're going to have a smile on their face, and they're going to be happy to help you out and take care of you. And I love that aspect. When you reach out to Assurity, you're talking to Assurity. So today's agenda, it's the huge small business opportunity, how that bundled coverage, and that's the key, and this is bundled coverage that we're going to be talking about today, coupled with the fact that Assurity has, in my opinion, one of the best underwriting processes out there today, really underwriting made easy, and then finish up with some tools for you all advisors in the field. So ideally, we want to break free from the commodity trap. Consumers today can go out online and they can quote themselves a term policy. They're probably not going to quote it correctly, based off the risk class, but they can go out there and quote them and find out who the cheapest carriers are. But there's a lot more that goes into that sale than just finding the cheapest carrier, which is one of the reasons I mentioned, Kathy, that I think our underwriting process here is one of the best out there. But when you offer that 3-in-1 coverage, that bundled coverage, it's more than just term insurance. Term insurance doesn't have the highest persistency rates in the industry. In general, it does not. But when you can add features and benefits to that term, that business tends to stay on the books a lot longer. And so that 3-in-1 coverage that no other carrier out there has, and add value to term to sell more and obviously grow your commissions. That's why we're in this business, to take care of our customers and be rewarded with commissions. So as I mentioned earlier, the small business market is actually pretty large and robust. Matter of fact, there's over 33 million small businesses in America. That middle part of this slide is the most impactful, I think, for today's presentation. 82%, over 80% of small businesses have no employees. So if you have a small business owner, Kathy, that has no employees, obviously they are the reason why that company is generating any revenue, right? If something happens to them, that business is not going to continue, right? They're not going to continue to generate revenue if they have no employees. And so this concept is really designed around how we can assist small business owners and try to cover some of those major risks that they have. The last part of the slide, 42% need more life insurance. I think you can look at these statistics all over the place. In general, every consumer out there needs more life insurance, but I think most folks out there think that it's a long, drawn out and painful process. And we want to change that mentality here. So why small businesses? This is a very, very key point here, Kathy. Small business owners, especially if you have no employees, you've got a family that depends on you and you have a business that depends on you. So you have, you're being drawn in two different directions. Business debt is very common, right? Small business owners typically carry I would say, a healthy amount of debt. And unfortunately, a lot of times they use their personal savings for business. So they've already tapped into those reserves. And what the Life Protect Plus for small business owners does is it provides term life insurance. So we're providing a benefit to them if they pass on. So we're covering their death. Critical illness rider. We add a critical illness rider to this from $10,000 to $100,000 that'll pay out a lump sum. We're going to dig into this here in just a minute, but it'll pay out a lump sum to them if they have a heart attack, stroke, cancer. I mean, all of the major things that you can think of. It's going to pay you out a $10,000 to $100,000 lump sum. And then we also can add a disability income rider. It's up to $3,000 a month is the max when you add it as a rider. But this disability income rider would pay a monthly benefit to your client if they do become disabled. So again, trying to cover premature death, trying to cover their health with a critical illness, and then trying to cover their disability, right? Their income with a disability rider. And we know $3,000 a month may not replace their entire income. But keep in mind, this is a term plan that offers a very robust DI rider, and you can actually get an instant decision on our term product with these riders, Kathy. So the unique product advantages here. There are three types of coverage here. So as we talked about term, critical illness, and disability, cool thing is it's one application, and it is one monthly premium or one annual premium, however they want to pay. So these are not multiple policies. There are no health license required since these are riders, even though they are considered health riders. The base is a life plan, and so you do not have to have a health license. We do offer accelerated underwriting with no medical exams and the potential for an instant decision for clients that qualify. And again, it's a very affordable price, often less than products bought individually because we're not charging a policy fee for each individual plan. So it's kind of that 3-in-1 concept that we have found is really resonating with small business owners. We do offer a similar concept on our whole life. Typically with small business owners, Kathy, we're going to see them looking more towards the price point of a term plan. So we do offer 10 to 30-year term all the way down to $25,000. So even though we're talking about small business owners today, I'll mention $25,000. We do offer accelerated underwriting up to $100,000 up to age 75. So for those clients that may be looking for the cheapest life coverage, and maybe they're in their 60s, early 70s, we do offer term down to $25,000 up to age 75. It is a convertible product, so you can convert to our whole life or universal. And we do offer a quote to application that is e-app friendly, that is an e-app process that feeds directly into our accelerated underwriting process. So let's talk about our critical illness benefit, Kathy. You and I have talked about this many times before. It is probably one of my favorite riders to add to a term plan. Most consumers out there today don't think about it. But the cool thing about it, Kathy, is our critical illness benefit does not touch the death benefit of the term plan. So if you have a client that has a $500,000 30-year term, they have a heart attack, they file a critical illness claim, and let's say they have a $100,000 CI benefit. We cut them a check for $100,000 and they still have $500,000 of term insurance. Their premium doesn't change. We're just paying them out $100,000 and saying, I'm sorry this happened to you. Here's your benefit. And the policy continues. So unlike some of the accelerated death benefit options that even Assurity offers as well, the way that this is structured is we don't want to touch that death benefit. So by adding the CI as a rider, it does not erode that death benefit, which would obviously be needed upon death of the insured.
This is a really good rider. I do really like that rider. It's got good extra benefits for your clients. If something, I always talk to a lot of agents and explain to them, if something happens to the client, they don't die, but they have a heart attack, they have a stroke, then what do? How are they going to be able to, get money? Because right now they're not able to work. How are they going to be able to do anything? This is going to actually help them keep their business afloat by having income coming through yet.
Amen. Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. And also, I'll take it a step further. Not only able to keep their business afloat, but able to keep their life insurance afloat.
True.
Right. I think when people go through something like this, and money gets tight, they're going to look at, what do I need to let go of? And it might be, the life insurance that they let go of. So offering them that lump sum benefit to help offset some of the costs of whatever's going on with them. It's a pretty robust rider. Our monthly disability income rider, it is available up to age 60. It is a set in stone 90-day elimination period and a 2-year maximum benefit period. So because it is a DI rider, you are limited to that. But it does provide up to $3,000 a month of disability benefit. And again, the same as critical illness. This DI rider does not erode the death benefit of the term plan. So that client that had $500,000, they do not touch that $500,000. They will still have that as long as they continue to pay their premium. So let's look at an idea here. Small business owner, this is pretty typical for us. Not only the age range, we actually see, I don't know, Kathy, if you're hearing more about it, but we're seeing more female small business owners. And I don't know if that's a demographic change, but this scenario that we put together here is very applicable to what I'm seeing from my desk. So Sarah's a 40-year-old accounting firm owner. She's got a couple kiddos and her current life insurance isn't enough. I'll add to this slide, the insurance that she has or had was probably through a former employer that she may have transitioned over, or, she may have had a small whole life plan that, her parents bought for her as a kid. But the solution here as a small business owner is $1 million of 20-year term. At age 40, that gets her up to age 60. We did add a $20,000 CI benefit rider and $2,500 a month in DI rider. So this was one of those scenarios where I think her budget was around like $170 a month, $175 a month. So we wanted to put together a package that, came within her budget range. And she's getting the term, the critical illness, and the disability for $163.79 a month. So very robust offering, a very, very attractive price point, and robust benefits here, Kathy.
That's a good premium.
And as I mentioned earlier, our underwriting process here, in my opinion, is one of the best in the industry. We love to be able to process all of your insurance cases as quick, fast, and easy as possible. We do offer accelerated underwriting up to $1 million, up to age 50, and then it grades down from there. But our goal is no exams or tests. We don't want to have to bother you to go help us track down something. You do have 3 coverages with one application. So it's one app, one policy, and one premium. And fast policy issue. Our goal here is to underwrite your case, approve it, and get that policy in force as quick, fast, and easy as possible. Kathy, some small business prospects here. These are kind of the typical ones that we see on a pretty regular. The construction firms, definitely, roofers. And these are a lot of folks that have, used to work for, actually like pre-COVID, worked for a construction company or worked for a foundation company or worked for whatever other type of company. And for some reason after COVID, they like, I'm going to break free. I'm going to go start my own thing. So we're seeing and more small business owners that are getting away from working for somebody else and starting their own. Hairdressers, mechanics, we see a lot of. Dog groomers, that's a pretty popular one out there as well. So it's a very large market, and we're going to make it as quick, fast, and easy as possible for you. We have a quick quoter here that is specifically designed for this concept. You can take your cell phone, you can scan this QR code, which is safe. It'll take you out to this Assurity site, and it will allow you to run the term quote with the critical illness and the disability all packaged in one. You can email it to your client, or if you're sitting with your client or you're on the phone with them, you can actually proceed directly to the e-app. Now note, you can still do this concept with most quoting engines out there. So if you utilize iPipeline, you can still add the critical illness and disability rider. We just created this quick quote system specifically designed for this concept.
This is really smooth because a lot of agents will call us and their computers aren't working for some reason, but they have cell service and internet service on their cell phone, and this is an easy process for them to use.
Amen. So the website that we have created for this, these websites, by the way, I'll mention to you, there's no user ID or password required, so it's not going to ask you to validate and do two-factor authentication. And it's going to provide you everything that you would need: call scripts, email scripts, all the marketing material, consumer-facing material. I believe there's even a video very similar to what we're talking about today that's out there. So this site is designed specifically for this concept, and we call it Life Protect Plus. With that, Kathy, I appreciate your time. I appreciate all the advisors that are listening in with us today. I hope you found this information very helpful and useful. I love interacting with you all, and I'm very blessed again to be here with our good friends at Premier. So Kathy, with that, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Jeff, for going over this with us. This was a phenomenal idea. I'm glad we talked about this to bring this out in front of everybody. I love the packaging of three things together in one payment, one application plan, everything. It's kind of like one wrapper right around everything that the agents are looking for, your clients are looking for. With the term, the critical illness rider, I know the riders aren't in every state, so if you have any questions, please let us know. We can help you go through that to make sure that we're helping you in different avenues. And then the disability income rider, we've been asked more and more on critical illness lately, so this is going to be a huge blessing for a lot of the agents out there looking for this. As far as your clients, think of, and I really do believe that small business owners are an untapped market, but think of your small business owners, even yourself or other agents that you know are just starting out. You might have downline just starting out. Make sure that they're aware of this too for themselves. Because they're starting their own business, but there's so many people out there that, a seamstress, people are doing auto body work, they don't have a lot of other employees, or they're their own employee. This is a good benefit for them for the small business operations. So any questions that you do have on this, please reach out to Premier, my team. It's 1-800-365-8208. My team extension is 607. Somebody should be able to help you answer any questions that you have. If you're looking for contracting, we do contracting through SureLC. So we'll be able to get you that link, a quick link out there to get you set up as well. But please let us know if you have any additional questions or any cases that you need some help with. We're always here to help you out and get you the best information you're looking for. So thank you again, Jeff, for helping us and go through this with us together today. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.